Chapter 4 The Circle of the 12. It was hot on that day in the bush north of Lagos 2 years ago, as it was every day that time of year. The women were busily collecting the harvest, tending the babies, and talking about families and husbands. The young men were practicing with spears, playing the drums, and dancing, getting ready for the festival of the new moon that was to happen in just 2 days, and the young girls were watching with anticipation. Over in the council house, the members were consulting the oracles and talking over the policies that were going to be put into place at the upcoming festival. The main concern was the problem in the United States that was discovered just this morning by the oldest seer in the council. He had taken out his white china plate that was given to his father by the Catholic missionaries, then poured the holy water into the plate and said the words. He had watched the plate without moving or saying a word for almost 2 hours, his face filling with despair and sadness. Finally, with quiet resolve, he reported his findings to the group. The examiner is playing his game in the country of the Americans, he said with great sadness. He tries to cause destruction throughout the whole world. In the Yoruba view, there is no God with an adversary that is the devil or Satan. There are only two different aspects of the duality of God. God the Creator, the Builder, the Savior of man, and the Examiner, whose job it is to test man, to find and use his weaknesses against him, to strengthen him with these trials, so as to receive the full glory of God's blessing. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger is the accepted view. This seer held no position of rank within the circle, as such, but whenever he reported a find or prophecy, all other considerations were momentarily set aside. This seemed to be perhaps the most important discovery of his life. He has already released the demons throughout Yoruba land and is now building forces to release in America and Europe. The council had little choice but to stop the plans and considerations for the festival and immediately concentrate on what measures were necessary to combat this new problem. The vision was manifested for the view of all the other members of the circle, and it was immediately evident that already there was a disease and even death that was imminent throughout Yoruba land, and even more distant parts of the African continent. The council took a decisive step and decided that one of the young ones would have to be sent to the center of this potential world destruction to report on what measure could be taken to circumvent this calamity. All of the circle members were in their late 80s. The young ones referred to an apprentice member who was only 65 or 70. Ambrose was chosen, since he was to take the next seat in the circle when it opened with the death of one of the members. Also, he was younger and physically more able to handle the demands of world travel and the pressures of investigation. Air tickets were arranged, and he was on his way. He had been in the country for most of the 2-year period when I discovered him, waiting for me in my car, examining my radio.